Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Core 4 podcast. With me, as usual, are my co-hosts, Jeffrey, Amari, and LJ. We have 2 great topics for you today, including a Q&A from our viewers who commented on our Instagram page a few questions they want to hear. And we're going to be talking about some players in the 3 main leagues that we talk about, that being the MLB, NBA, NFL, and whether they're overrated, underrated, or overhated. And we're going to start with me reading you guys. I have a list here on my phone, and I'm going to read you guys, and we're going to give our takes. So we're going to start off with MLB. And what we're going to do here, I think probably the best thing is we're going to give each guy a couple minutes and just take our turns, and that's it, move on, because we have 15 guys on this list. So we're going to start off with the MLB with probably the most talked about, potentially overrated superstar, Bryce Harper.
He's just not overrated. I don't think he's anything. I don't think he's overrated. I don't think he's underrated. I think he's at.
I think he's just
there. He's an all-star. He's just there. I don't think he's either. I don't think he's any.
That bag he got, that contract is crazy.
I'd say he's a great player, and he's in a great situation, and he's still young, and he has a lot of years and money left to prove what he is.
I'd agree. I don't think he's overrated, but I think that he's needing
I don't know. I've heard Jacob Jarrett bash Bryce Harper a lot of times the past few years.
And I actually put him on this list because of my rethinking. And I thought to myself, okay, people have kind of settled down a little bit. No one will dispute that he's up there with Trout, Yelich, Bellinger. And as long as those conversations aren't happening, I think he's not overrated. And I haven't heard them happening. All right. Next one. A person who me and LJ have had a variety of feuds over. The San Diego Padres third baseman, Manny Machado. Why don't we start with the other 2 to hear their side of it? Jeff and Amari.
You want to go, Amari?
You can go, Jeff.
I think he deserved the contract that he got. I don't think he's overrated whatsoever. Like, obviously, he went to a team that's not that good in the Padres, but I think Manny Machado is a great player. I don't think he's overrated at all. I think he's just in the middle.
I think I kind of agree with Jeff. I think he's a great player. I just feel like the only reason that he gets that overrated status, you said he was overrated, correct?
Well, I didn't say my point yet, but I'm going to.
Oh, okay. Well, if you would put him in the category of overrated, I just feel like it's his attitude that gives him that status. But besides that, like what he does in the game, I think he's a great player, like Jeffrey said.
I just think that whole attitude thing is just all the old heads that just can't handle. Oh, you need to run out every single ball and run so hard to every single. Like, this guy's batting 280. He's hitting all these home runs. He's one of the best fielders in the league. I think he deserves his money, and I would love if he was in the Yankees. And I wanted him on the Yankees so bad, but the Yankees didn't want to pay him. So, I still think he's one of the best players in the league, by far.
I don't at all. Last year he slashed 256.
I don't care about his slashing.
That's the worst batting average in almost every single player on the Yankees, making not even a millionth of what he's making. All right, he's a pair of shades. He's a jerk. He loves it. He loves to have a jerky attitude.
This is the guy. This is the guy.
It actually makes
me the guy. Oh, I can't handle his attitude. If you have an attitude, you don't deserve to be on the Yankees. And you gotta shave your beard.
I don't want him on the team.
Hair.
All right, DJ LeMay, who's better than him. Fine.
He's also 32 years old.
So?
Machado's like 26, and you have him for 10 years. That's why. That's why.
Dude, no one that bats 256 should be in any top player conversation. I don't care what sabermetrics are coming into baseball now.
What about every other year in his career? What about every other year in his career?
What
about every other year in his career?
No, he's a good player.
Every other year.
Jacob, I know he's a good player. I didn't say he wasn't a good player, but he's overrated. He shouldn't be getting that money. He shouldn't be getting the conversations that he's getting in terms of his position in baseball. And frankly, I don't even know if he's as good as Bryce Harper. So I don't even know what we're talking about because neither of them are as good as any player in the league. What?
Different positions. What do they do to each other?
I'm just saying, if Bryce Harper is not in any top player conversation, then Manny Machado certainly isn't either.
Why? Since when is Bryce Harper not in any top player conversation?
Because he's not that good. Oh, so maybe
So
he is overrated.
So he is overrated to you.
He's overrated.
What are you
to
talking
me,
about?
What you're saying? You think he's up there with Trout, Bellinger, Yelich?
They're both really.
I never said Trout. You know, Bellinger had one. You know, this is his first year that he did that, right? This is his first year he did that. He had those numbers.
Until he doesn't do it.
Yeah. What about every year that Harper did do it? You forget about all those years and you just think about 1 year. That's what you do in your head.
I'm not even saying anything about Harper. You're the one talking about Harper. All I said was Machado.
You mentioned Harper as he's not a top player in the league, but he is. He is. Harper is a top player in the league. Yes, he is. What are you talking about?
No, he's not.
What are you saying?
He's not up there with the guys we've been talking about.
Oh my God.
I don't even think he's better than Judge. I'm completely serious.
I disagree.
But
Let's
Judge,
move on.
we can't really judge yet.
Let's move on.
Harper hasn't done anything like injury-wise either.
Yeah.
Next, I saw a list ranking this player at the 7th best at his position ever. Many regard him as the best at this position over the last decade, undisputedly. Is Clayton Kershaw overrated? Obviously, what I'm asking is his playoff woes enough to make him overrated?
No. He is one of the best pitchers of all time. He's probably top 5, top 10.
Can I say something? Clayton Kershaw is a very good regular season pitcher. Clearly, as you can tell, when the big games are on the line, he just can't do it. If you're not gonna be if you're not gonna assert your dominance when the big games are needed, I don't consider you one of the best players of all time. I do not consider you. I wouldn't put Clayton Kershaw in the top 10 pitchers of all time. I would near probably top 15, but I wouldn't put him top 10 at all. I could name 10 players that are better than him. And
there's some pitchers that didn't even get that have these numbers that don't even get to the playoffs.
That's true, but
technically in the top 10.
Yeah, but the
so
thing
I
is
don't think he should get like taken down just because he makes the playoffs and just doesn't do as well. Like he still is insane.
Yeah, but I just feel like are you going to be considered a great for going to the playoffs as many times as he did and not succeed in them, or are you going to just prove your dominance?
But there's been some games that I've watched him pitch and he lost and he scored like 2 runs. Like that's not his fault.
And like
no, but I'm just saying in terms of his position, what he does as a pitcher. He's one of the I'm going to admit it. He's one of the best pitchers I've seen ever. And Jacob, what did you say that they're saying that he's the best pitcher we've seen in the last decade?
Like he's ranked up there because
he definitely is
best pitcher of this era.
You got Bumgarner. Those are probably the 2 from this decade.
Okay, but Bumgarner stopped producing like a few years ago.
Yeah, but he's a 3-time World Series champion. 3 out of 6, 5 every 5. It was 3 in 5 years.
True.
He's a winner.
What do you think, Jeff?
What do you think?
I think that I agree with Amari that like he's great in the regular season, but I think he also has more to prove. Like he still has chances to prove himself, and possibly this year with LA. I think
I agree with you, but
really good team, and they're the favorites out of the National League. But
every single year they're the favorite. That's why it's like I feel like you have to acknowledge how good he is. Like every single year he's the favorite. There's a reason.
I'm gonna go. I saw a stat that he had like a 2.10 ERA over 8 years. Unheard of. I just think
it's ridiculous.
I think as long as no one's saying anything about like the best pitcher of all time, I've never heard that. Probably never will. I think top 10 slot is good for him. I think he's been the best pitcher in potentially the best era of baseball ever, either first or second, right behind the steroid era. And there's still guys taking steroids. So it's incredible how good he's been. All right, 2 more. Let's do them fast so we can move on to NBA. Right across the river, the New York Mets. Some people regard this man as the best pitcher in the major league, Jacob deGrom.
I think he deserves to be overrated because he's probably the best pitcher right now in the league, if not top 2. I feel like
he's the best pitcher in the MLB by far.
But yeah, I can't. He's overrate him as much as you want. He is just fantastic.
No, but like, do you mean overrate? Like he deserves that top rating, or overrated like he doesn't? I think.
Oh no, like
he definitely deserves that top rating.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
I also think he's 1 or 2 in the league. So I guess there's no.
And I don't know if you guys want. I don't know if you guys saw just touch on it real quick. Did you guys see the MLB? What they might do? What they're trying to? They might realign it so there's no division. There's no divisions this year. It's just based on your spring training division. So like it'd be like 10. It'd be like 15 teams and 15 teams, and they just play.
Grapefruit and like what are the other?
It'd be Grapefruit and Cactus League, just two sides. Because
it's odd.
Because of the fact that where they'd be playing, they'd only be playing in Phoenix and Florida. So they don't do the whole so scheduling would be easier. They just play your teams in Florida and you play your teams in Phoenix, and then they still haven't figured out what they want to do with the playoffs yet.
But they're hoping to eventually get to a point where they're going to have fans back, just not starting the season, right?
I mean, right now that's the whole. Right now that their plan is for the whole season to be with no fans, and they just do straight Florida, Phoenix, and you don't cross over. You just play in your state. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't even know how.
Just by the way that
imagine not playing like.
Just by the way LJ described it, that's definitely not going to happen. But good try, MLB.
Well, yeah,
it's like their first. It's like their first attempt at trying to get back.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want everything to go back to normal.
All right.
I
So
think
what's the next player?
Yeah.
Last player in the MLB, and then we're going to move on to the NBA, Mookie Betts.
Dookie Betts.
He's not underrated.
I think he's overrated.
I mean, I don't know what you guys are going to think, but
sure.
He's overrated by far.
Overrated
he is
for sure.
One of the best players in the league. He's one of the best players in the league, and he's going to change that Dodgers team a lot. They need that extra guy, and now they have one.
I agree. That all sounds good.
I agree with
all right, NBA. Oh, let's go NFL.
All right.
We have 5 quarterbacks. I thought it was best to continue because everyone in this podcast has a very certain way to look at quarterbacks, which I think is a little different.
Here we go.
Why don't we start with Dak Prescott?
He is over. It depends who you're talking to, but if I'm talking about like the league in general, he's overrated. He's so overrated.
I could agree with that. He's
with that Cowboys team. They should have went so much farther. They should have went so much farther, and yeah, I think he's overrated.
Yeah, I think there's a chance that he's so overrated that he's gonna get that contract, and then they're just not gonna win for however long that contract is. I don't think he's a Super Bowl quarterback for a variety of reasons. I don't think he's consistent enough to be a Super Bowl quarterback. I don't think he is smart enough to be a Super Bowl quarterback.
Well,
I don't think he meshes well enough with his team to be a Super Bowl
I don't think he has the talent to be a Super Bowl quarterback. I don't think he has anything. I don't think he does anything special.
The thing about Dak is that he's scared of, messing up his numbers. That's the thing about Dak, I feel like the most. Because Dak has pretty good numbers if you just look at it and compare him to other quarterbacks. But his play, he'll maybe have one, not even special, just something out of the ordinary because everything he does is just normal. Like, he plays for a really good team. And if you put a good quarterback in that position, they're top in the NFC for
sure. Especially with that behind that line.
They're playing in the worst division in the NFL. I definitely don't think they should be finishing.
That's not true at all. That is not true at all. But you can keep going.
It's a fact, though. It's fact.
Not. It was literally one of the best divisions in the NFL for one of the longest periods of time.
Right.
But right now, it's the worst. It's like a fact. It is
right now, the Eagles and the Cowboys aren't bad at all.
They're winning 8 or 9 games each. and the other two teams are rebuilding.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what the Redskins are doing.
Yeah, they're horrible. All right, Amari, you look like you don't agree with us.
I completely agree with you. I've been watching Dak Prescott since Mississippi State. And he just sucks every year I watch him. It just doesn't.
I think he was
improve.
overrated coming out of. I think he was so overrated coming out of college. I remember Cowboys fans talking about him like he was God,
Yeah.
and I was like, I really don't think he's that good.
Like when Tony.
I watched him.
We're just like
He didn't even deserve. He didn't even deserve Rookie of the Year over Elliott that year.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I don't understand that either.
Definitely.
I remember watching him for like 4 years before he went into the NFL, and it was just atrocious.
All right,
Yeah.
one
All right,
more
we can move on.
in this division. Carson Wentz.
Overrated.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me put my intake on this. I
I'd
don't know
love to hear how he's not overrated.
I've actually okay. I've
Come on.
okay. I remember, I think it was with you guys or with someone else. I had told everyone that because, as you guys may know, I like watching the prospects when it comes to the quarterback position before they get into the NFL and they get drafted into their teams. I knew the second I saw Carson Wentz's profile and what he did for North Dakota State University that in the next 1 or 2 years he was going to be an NFL champion. And I had called it because 2 years after I think he got drafted, he was NFL champion. And look, if it wasn't for the injuries, I think he'd still be an elite quarterback. He has the build, he has the size, he has the athleticism. He has the quarterback mental game on lock when it comes to how he makes smart decisions. I think he's a great look. People don't know this. He won 5 championships from North Dakota State University. So it's he has the credentials. He has the
he's a winner.
It's just like
he's a winner.
Obviously, I think I watch his games more than anybody here because like obviously the Giants play them twice. Like it's like. Sometimes he looks really good, and sometimes he just looks so average. Like, sometimes he just looks like he's just there. Like, the Giants almost beat them last year, like, when they had nobody. And I watch – sometimes I watch him play, and I think with these injuries, it's just – I don't know how you could put him with the top quarterbacks in the league. Like, it has to stop. It has to stop now. Like, it can't happen every time you go to the playoffs, you get hurt, and your backup has to try to win you a game.
You can't say that either because people –
It just has to
you can't say that.
Being Clowney decided to be a jerk.
Well, you can't say that either because people can bring up a lot of
dirty hit, LJ. Don't roll your eyes.
But wait. With what LJ just said, you can't really
it's
bring
football,
that
Jacob.
point. You can't really
fall. He was falling. He was.
Let me say something. You really can't bring up that point because people bring up very good arguments, decent arguments, which I don't agree with. But people can bring up an argument why Tony Romo's like top 20 quarterbacks of all time, top 20 of all time. People bring up a good point as to why. But
he was good.
But look what happened to him. It's the same thing that happened to Carson Wentz. He just got injured every single 2 or 3 years.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I don't think it's you have to blame. You can't just say, all right, it's okay. He's still that good because even though it's not his fault, like he's getting injured. I understand it's not his fault, but I'm not gonna put you up there with zero. He has 0 playoff wins.
I definitely have an opinion on
Nick
this.
Foles played every single game in that playoff run.
Yeah.
But we can all agree that if Carson Wentz was in that position, he would have done a lot better.
Yeah, if, but like we don't know. And also, it's not that easy, especially imagine scouting a quarterback all season and then having to having no scouting report on Nick Foles for that year, and then having to play them a week later.
They were really good.
I feel like that came into. They were really good. They were good. That team was good. They were well built.
The Eagles.
They were well coached. I like that coach.
The Eagles have had their pieces that could definitely take them.
They have a good foundation.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about Carson, I want to preface what I'm about to say. I think he's a great quarterback. He got injured early, not early, but before that season could really end. That he definitely deserved MVP. Like if you
it was like week 10, week 11.
It was like week 11 or something like that. he played phenomenally. He's the reason that they made it that deep because Nick Foles had a shaky start in that season to start, right in the middle of it. But if Carson Wentz can't win them a playoff game this year or be healthy, you might have to put him in that bust conversation because you've had this team that has had like good players, consistent pieces that have performed well, and your quarterback is not the consistent reason. I think you could definitely build up an argument
Yeah.
as to why you could place
Yeah,
him
I
in
agree.
the bust category.
Yeah, those are all good. Those are all good points.
Daniel Warhan, I know you're watching this. I love Carson Wentz, but it's gotten to a point because he's already one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. For him to just play well, get like your team's afloat, and then he just disappears, and your team has a first round exit and another bad draft pick. Like you can't be doing that.
Yeah,
I
agree.
It can't be happening.
All right. How much time do we have? A lot of time left or no?
I don't know if you want, we could cut it and keep on going with that.
I thought we were good.
Yeah, well, I think we're good.
All right, let's keep going. All right, we have 3 more NFL quarterbacks. Let's go with Deshaun Watson. So this is a really interesting one, I think, because you could make a huge case for either side because there's so many different people who regard him at different standards. I think there's a huge variety of where people think he ranks amongst NFL quarterbacks. I'll just go first. And, I guess no one really says they hate him that much. So I guess that's not really one. But I am really in the middle on this. I don't even think – so one of you guys go. I'm so torn on this.
I don't know. I think that, I think the Texans – not with much the injury standpoint, but I feel like they relate to the Eagles because they were very good to start, and he got put into a great position, and teams slept on him for some reason. I don't understand why, because he was really good in college. And when you get put into a position with Hopkins, even though he's not there anymore, it's like how much better of a position can you get with that defense? And I think that they made the playoffs all those years, and they didn't really win. But I don't think it was necessarily his fault. Like I think they just had good games and they played the Chiefs. Like they played the Chiefs last year. Like how much they won the Super Bowl. So like it's not like they had a bad loss. I understand they almost lost to the Bills, but they still pulled it out at the end. And he had a crazy play where he broke out of those 2 tackles. I think he's fine. I think he's just fine. I don't think he's underrated. I think he might be a little bit underrated because people kind of bash him for it.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Playmaker. I think he's a stud for sure. He had that ACL injury earlier in his career.
Yeah, like his rookie year, I think it was.
Rookie year he had
I think it was his rookie year. They were having a good season, and that happened.
And he's got the arm. He came out of a national championship winning team in Clemson. Like, there's nothing more I don't think you could ask more for Deshaun. I think he had a great team. Now his team is a little worse. I like the trade for Brandon Cooks.
The Cooks, yeah.
I like the trade for Brandon Cooks. I hope Bill O'Brien could put that team together. But
if say David Johnson plays how David Johnson's supposed to play, they have a great running back. People forget about that.
Offense because Randall Cobb came off a good season too. And
Randall Cobb did pretty good as a slot.
That guy from Miami that they had, what's his name? Was it not Devontae Parker? Kenny Stills also played well, and Will Fuller we know.
Kenny Stills and Will Fuller. Will Fuller can play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the defense is fine.
Yeah.
I think they were fine.
Yeah.
Because I think Watt's needs to just stop getting hurt.
All right, Amari, go.
Good defense.
I'm kind of stuck in between with you, Jacob, because one, I really never looked into Deshaun Watson like that. I saw him more in college than I do in the NFL. I've obviously seen almost all his highlights. I just feel like he's starting to get in the same category as Carson Wentz because I feel like his injury might implicate where he ends up as an overrated or underrated player. I feel like if he gets injured again, he's gonna be considered overrated because I think right now he's a good quarterback. I won't put him as a great quarterback. Like LJ said, their team, I don't know who or what made the decisions this offseason to do what they did. But
Supposedly that Hopkins wanted too much money and they didn't want to give it to him.
Wanted
I don't
like in the
understand
18 to 20
why
million.
not.
I just want to
Sure.
point. I just want to point out. On both sides, I'm gonna make a very strong prediction right now, just to put it out there, that David Johnson will have an exceptional year if the NFL still goes on this year. I think he's gonna have an exceptional year with the way that they run their team, and I don't know why people are gassing up DeAndre Hopkins with a 37, 38-year-old Larry Fitzgerald in Arizona. I don't think that's going to be that astounding.
Yeah,
Christian
I
Kirk.
don't.
Is a good player.
I was
They have
seeing
good pieces on that
Christian
team.
Kirk's good, but I was seeing like pictures like, oh, this offense is crazy, and Murray's great. I like Murray, but like they're putting him next to Fitzgerald. I'm like, how much? Like he's like any other receiver in the league
Andy Isabella is a good player
right now.
The guy who I liked out of college. He's a slot. Last year was his rookie season.
And they're rolling with Drake had a crazy season at the end of the year when he got traded to the Cardinals. So I think he's gonna do pretty good there.
And I think they're going to draft O-line in the draft.
Yeah,
Draft one of those top tackles because they're in a position.
I like Kyler too.
I think they're going to
I don't like him.
I like Kyler. He's a stud.
To wrap up,
Yeah, he's a stud.
Watson.
Rookie of the year.
To wrap up Watson, I agree with Amari. I think he's a good quarterback. I think his great flashes are more in just pure athleticism than a 50-yard bomb down the field. Not that he doesn't have an arm, but when you see his better side, it's always kind of due to his natural athleticism. So I think that's what kind of keeps him out of the grit. Like I don't think he'll ever have the quarterback, the top tier quarterback abilities as much as he has the athleticism of a top-tier athlete.
Yeah.
And lastly, very
We
quick.
could do a few NBA guys. You don't do all. You could do your favorite ones.
What do you say?
We can just go like rapid fire on these if you want. Like we can talk about like a certain one. If you have any
Let's go
really
to
good
NBA.
ones.
Let's go to NBA and let's go rapid fire. We have some ones that can cause big debate. I think we could start with Paul George.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Because Paul George, another injury-riddled career, obviously, but not right now.
Can I say something?
I'm telling you,
I'm torn with Paul George. Right
now. Can I start off? I feel like this is exactly in the same category.
I just got a gift from
that.
Zoom.
What?
We have
Zoom just extended our meeting.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, go.
I feel like this is in the same exact category that you can put in Dak Prescott, in which LJ said that he's just there. Because I look at Paul George, and I'm being honest with you, I do not see greatness in Paul George when I see him play.
I never have.
Those Pacers days, he was really, really good.
He was really, really good, but he wasn't like, oh my God, this guy's gonna.
He wasn't. I never saw him as a superstar. I always saw him as a star. I never saw him as like a superstar, like
top, I mean?
Like a
Victor Oladipo type player. I think Oladipo ceiling.
I think they won that. I think the Pacers won that trade.
Oh yeah,
Oladipo.
Sure. Sabonis, 2 All-Stars. Sabonis.
I think like the Clippers trade, like for that team, it was a great trade, like to get Paul George. But honestly, the Thunder didn't look bad at all with those young players, and now they have all those draft picks. So I don't know. I think he's getting bounced around by team to team, but I think he's overrated. I don't know. It depends who you're talking to, but I think he's overrated. I think he's a little overrated.
Unfortunately, going to have to go with overrated. I like Paul George. I feel bad for him because he was on pace to have an even better career than he did before.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I think it's even surprising they came back like that from that injury.
Yeah,
it's a great story, but I think he's a star, not a superstar, as LJ said. That's the phrase I always use on him because I think when you talk about duos in the league, I think it's Paul George complementing Kawhi. Whereas with the Lakers, AD and LeBron are 2 of the top players in the league. I think Paul George is a complement to Kawhi, along with Harrell, all of them, Beverly, whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But he's definitely played at that superstar level, though, because we've seen playoff P,
Yeah.
The storied playoff P.
Yeah, because we can always say like the Pacers might have they were one game away 2 years in a row from going to the finals and they, to the Heat.
Yeah.
So, like, if they didn't play that superstar team, maybe they would have won.
Maybe.
Yeah, he was that man. He was that good.
But he
All right.
definitely
No, that team was good. That team was good though. I used to like watching the Pacers play with Hibbert, where Hibbert was good, and Stevenson,
Yeah, for
George
sure.
Hill,
Eddie Granger.
and George Hill. That team was dirty.
For sure. All right, a couple more. I have the list, but I remember it. Let's go with Damian Lillard.
He is the most, if not top 3, top 5 most overrated players, in my opinion.
Wow.
What? What
Most,
are you talking about?
I am.
What is
I am,
overrated about him?
I am.
Damian Lillard.
Now
He single-handedly ruined an NBA franchise.
I don't want to hear any excuse that he had to carry his team yet again.
But he did.
Yet again. Okay, where has it gotten him, LJ? Where has it gotten him? His 15, 60-point games. All right, that's fantastic. That's never before
They
seen.
went to the Western Conference Finals with the
What
team
happened?
that should not
What
be
happened?
there.
What happened?
It doesn't matter.
If you consider him that great, where is he? Where is he?
You can't.
He was by himself.
The
He
great
was
player
literally by
with the
himself.
ridiculous numbers. Once he crosses that half-court line,
wait.
just like Stephen Curry, you have to guard him.
Wait, out of curiosity, I don't recall when LeBron was carrying his team 2-3 years ago. They went to the finals. Why did they? Well, what happened to him?
They didn't play the Warriors they didn't play the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. They didn't. They had an easy. LeBron had an easier road to the finals. Easier road to the finals.
But it was literally just him. It was literally just him.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. LeBron, we're not comparing LeBron and Lillard. LeBron's 10 times better.
No, but you brought up the
was
fact that
just
he single-handedly carried the franchise.
Yeah, that team.
The same.
Yeah, but LeBron, first of all, LeBron had it easier. He's better than him, and he had it easier. Lillard's not as good, and he had it harder.
Yeah, we're not going to compare LeBron.
I feel like.
Well,
Hello?
yeah.
Hello?
That's Damian Lillard. He's trying to get into the Zoom meeting. Yo, what you say about my career? Yo, what you say? He's about to drop a diss track against Amari Hernandez. Well, hi, ladies and gentlemen. We got cut off by technical difficulties. Everything's fixed now. I was looking at Damian Lillard. I'm looking at his stats right now because I stated that Damian Lillard's one of the most overrated players right now in the league, and I think all three of you, I believe, disagree with me on that. But I'm looking here at his overall career stats, and he is only averaging 23 points per game. I don't think that makes him great. I think none of you knew that. Okay. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, but he's just getting in his prime. The past 2 years are his prime.
He's been 8 years in the league. How many years do you need to be in your prime?
Okay.
16?
Amari, he's a ridiculous player. He's a ridiculous player, and we can't forget that Stephen Curry's in the NBA. If Steph doesn't have, if he doesn't, which I believe he will have, continued production as the best point guard, but right behind him is Damian Lillard, and we can't argue with that.
Lillard's the second best point guard in the league.
I firmly believe that I can make a good argument as to why LeBron James is a better point guard than Damian Lillard. I can bring up a good argument about that.
He's not in the. You don't rank him as a point guard.
But I feel like, isn't he playing point guard now?
He does, yeah.
He's always been a point guard. He's always brought the ball up. He's always been that.
No, not with Kyrie. Not when Kyrie was there.
But I definitely remember Miami.
Okay, so
Miami had Mario Chalmers as their point guard. So
but even with Kyrie, I know they took turns.
So that's true. Jeffrey has a point. So my thing is, just by me saying that, can I not bring an argument why he's a better point guard than Damian Lillard?
Go ahead.
Who?
No, but
LeBron James.
I can understand. LeBron does play a better point guard game than Damian Lillard does. Like, he averages more assists, more assists and more points. But like, still, Lillard plays a different game. Lillard scored. Lillard's the scorer. The run that he went on before the season got ended was insane.
Yeah.
So let me talk to you. Let me talk to you about just two more. One more very Let me see point cover. He has career averaged 6.3 assists in his career.
which is good.
That's not that.
That's
But,
good.
But that's not bad.
That's good.
Not everyone averages 10 assists.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
And Damien's definitely
Curry only averages six assists a game. Steph Curry only averages 6 assists a game.
Look
his
up
career.
Kyrie Irving. Look up Kemba Walker. I think they're at maybe 7 or high 6.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. These are all guys that's not their game anymore. I don't know how we can make a point that Lillard's overrated. I think he's just
Yeah,
really
if you're
good.
the second best point guard in the league, I don't know how more overrated you can get. Like, that's just my opinion.
Well, Maury, do you think anyone's a better point guard right now besides Steph?
I think it's only right to put Kyrie at number 3 too.
Yeah, I have a debate. I used to have a debate for Kyrie and Lillard as number 2, but I just think Kyrie's been getting hurt.
I'm a diehard Nets fan. I love Kyrie Irving, but I just can't put him over Damien. Like, it's just not.
Yeah, like
It wouldn't make my list credible. It wouldn't make my
Kyrie's definitely 3 though.
What I got to say credible. Yeah,
Kyrie's definitely 3
because he's still insane.
Well, I'm looking at an NBC Sports article, and they're rating Luka a better point guard than Damian Lillard.
What?
He's a shooting guard, though.
Not even. He's a small forward.
Yeah,
That's why I don't trust NBC.
he's not a point
All
guard.
right, Jacob. Let's go. Let's move on.
2 more. This is a man who I really agree with Jeff about, and who I wanted to agree with him a couple of nights ago when we were on the phone having a little debate, but I couldn't because he was talking about Kevin Durant three-peating, so I just couldn't get my mind off that absurdity. But Giannis Antetokounmpo. And
Come
I
on.
know
Come
there's a-
on. Come on. What are we talking about here? Like, Jeff? Everyone.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the most overrated NBA players in the league
Thank you.
by
Thank you.
1,000%.
And
He's one of the
everyone,
most,
and
I think,
know,
in history. In
Thank
NBA
fans at
history.
home,
Thank you.
fans at home are all furious at us right now. They all disagree. Me, LJ, and Jeff are 3 of just a few people who believe this, and that's okay. But I really believe it. If he wins a championship, you can all punch
I will
me,
be wrong.
but he
You
won't.
could, you could. He's not. He's never going to win a championship.
Pending a drastic change.
A drastic improvement to his game.
Or
Because
What improvement does
Amari,
he need?
Amari, listen.
What shooting? Let's go just by that first. Shooting the ball.
So wait, averaging 30 points per game, you need an improvement from that?
Amari, listen. What I think.
Wait. Let LJ answer that. Let LJ.
I'm gonna
answer that.
speak
You
for
need
LJ
an
because I
improvement.
think you could
I
agree
just
that
said shooting.
Giannis is a liability in the fourth quarter.
Wait, I want to hear from LJ.
Oh no,
30
no.
No, it's that he brought up the point.
Jeff has the
I
same
wanna
answer.
ask him
Jeff
about
I
has
have
his
the
the
same
same
answer as
answer.
LJ. That's why I'm answering for him.
No, I want to hear his answer, then
Okay,
I'll hear
Go ahead,
yours.
LJ.
Amari, you cannot be the best player in the NBA when you are at the 3-point line or anywhere near the 3-point line, and
At the free
the
throw
whole
line.
team just backs up from you. That's all you have to do. Just back up from him,
Or foul him.
and you will
Literally.
not make it.
75% of his points are fast break points. You can't win a championship running a fast break for 3 playoff series when you're playing soon to be the Nets, when you're playing the Raptors, the Celtics, the Heat. You can't win a
76ers,
championship
the
just run
Pacers.
and forget about when they play the LA teams. Oh my God.
Like, bro, I get it, Giannis. You're a great player. You deserve that MVP that you won, the first one. You deserve that completely. Jump over Tim Hardaway Jr. all you want. Make spectacular plays in transition all you want. But, bro, in the fourth quarter, you're a liability to your team. Chris Middleton cannot carry your team in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry.
And look, let me clarify. I think he's unbelievable. I think he deserves
Yeah, he's a great talent.
He's a freak. He deserves his name, the Greek freak. He's a freak.
The only reason he's overrated is because of how many people think he's better than LeBron James and how many people think he's better than Kawhi Leonard. That's the only reason he's overrated, because he's not better than either of them.
He's not better than Kevin Durant.
We know this.
So he's fourth or
I
fifth.
don't know if you guys are okay. I don't know if you guys have been drinking from what Jeff has been drinking, but
It's just a fact.
It's not a fact. What's a fact is that Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging practically 30 points a game.
You can tell me all he's averaging, Mario. We're talking about what he's not doing.
He's averaging what? Wait. You're asking a guy. Remember, we just spoke about Damian Lillard having 6.6 assists a game. Okay, Giannis has 5.9. Okay, rebounds 14 rebounds averaging.
This
and
is all
30
cool
points
when
per
you don't
game.
win playoff series.
But what more do you want? You said he has to improve his game. What more do you want from him? I don't know what
He can't finish a game. He doesn't finish games in the playoff.
You're not scared of Giannis in the fourth quarter. You're just not.
I'd rather play a lot of other guys before I play Giannis. I'd rather play a lot of other teams before I play the Bucks. I'm not scared of the Bucks.
The same thing with Ben Simmons. If Ben Simmons had an outside shot,
exactly,
unarguably number 2 point guard in the NBA, without a doubt. Because everything else is great.
He's ridiculous.
He does everything else great. I'm a Nets fan. Once again, I dislike the 76ers, but you can't discredit him at all.
So if you just compare Ben Simmons to him, you think Ben Simmons is also overrated?
Yes.
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 Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yes, he is overrated. You've seen them play defense on him? They stand at the free throw line and let him shoot the ball.
I was going to say, you back up at the free throw line the same way you guard.
So James Harden's overrated because the worst attribute he has is his defense. Come on.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
Harden's not overrated.
James Harden's not overrated.
So wait. You're telling me that because Giannis doesn't show up in the fourth quarter, that makes him overrated, and due to what he does in the playoffs.
Yes, don't compare him to LeBron. Don't compare him to Kevin Durant. Don't compare him to Kawhi Leonard.
But wait. You're saying LJ and you just agreed that because of what he doesn't show up in the fourth quarter in the playoffs or in the regular season.
Yes.
Okay, that makes him overrated. But James Harden not playing defense in 4 quarters doesn't make him overrated.
Yeah, you want to know?
He actually does play defense. I think people forget that.
He
actually does.
He definitely can play defense. He just has to play too much offense.
I know the Bucks have the best record in the league. So obviously he's doing enough in the regular season. And I know James Harden hasn't won the championship either. But here's the difference. Yes, you don't want to play James Harden. You don't want to play James Harden. You don't want to play LeBron. These are top-tier clutch players. These are top-tier clutch players. And the fast break thing is a fact. He doesn't have enough versatility. He's not as good as these guys in the front court.
Yeah, he's not.
I just feel I highly disagree with all three of you.
So where would you rank him as amongst players in the league right now?
Top 5
this season,
arguably.
without KD, KD and
arguably top 5.
Yeah,
top
you
5.
could argue top 5 this season, but with all these players out, and
I definitely think he's maybe 5. He's maybe 5 with all these players healthy.
But he still has to improve in his fourth quarter. That's all. He's overrated.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I don't think he's top 5 because I'd rather have.
But LJ, you clearly understand because I don't know.
Amari, I'd rather have 5 other players before.
Amari, we're not saying he's not a good player. We're not saying.
But you clearly understand that you are, and anyone would understand this, that you are contradicting yourself, saying that he's overrated, you're putting him top 5.
I don't think he's top 5.
I'm not putting him top 5. I said right now with all these guys injured, with everybody injured. If he's not injured, if all these guys are injured, he's not top 5. He's not.
Well, clearly,
people think he's first. Plenty.
He's not first. A lot of people think he's first.
Many people in
LeBron is still the best player in the league. LeBron's still the best player in the league in the NBA. He's still the best player.
For sure.
I wouldn't put him. Obviously anywhere near number 1, but I'd put him top 10 to top 5. That's
have your top 10.
But how is that? But that doesn't make any sense. How do you guys think he's overrated, but you're putting him in top 10?
Because of what? Because of the allegations that people put on his name that he's like the greatest thing ever, and he's like the best player in the league. He's not. He's not.
No, but we're not talking about
he passed LeBron. Everyone is saying that.
No, but we're not talking about what the people are saying, what you two are saying. You specifically are saying that you'd put, with all the injuries of the people that are out of the league, you'd put Giannis top 5. You said that yourself.
For this year, this season,
guys are injured.
We didn't even get a full season.
So wait, but my thing is, okay, you LJ, with let's say everyone was back from injury, would you put Giannis top 10 players in the league?
Obviously.
But then how
That
is he
doesn't make him
overrated?
not
to you?
overrated. Amari, just because you're not 5 doesn't mean you can't be overrated. It's not by number. It's by what you think.
But that doesn't make it. That's
You
literally
base
contradicting what he's saying.
no, it's not. You base things if you're overrated based off what people say. You can't base it off anything else. That's how you do the overrated underrated thing. That's how you do it. That's how you base it.
But
You
I
base it
understand
overrated
that,
of
but
what they're saying. You can't just
I
do it in your
understand
head.
that, but
You
I
can't
don't
talk
get,
about yourself.
like I don't get how people say, for example, this is an example. They'll say LeBron's the number 1 player in the league, for example. But then you have those people saying that he's the most overrated player in the league. If he's the most overrated player, how is he number 1?
Who's ever said that? Who's ever said LeBron's
I just
overrated?
said, for example. I just said for an example.
I
I
think
just
it's
said
hard.
for an
No one
example.
said he's one.
Off of the general public. That's how you say whether someone's overrated.
That's how you base underrated, overrated is. That's how you base it. You don't
But
base it
I
off your own
understand that, but I'm
opinion.
saying in your opinion, your opinion, LJ.
Yes, he's overrated. He's overrated. Yes, he's overrated. Very overrated.
But you,
in his game and in his
yourself would
ranking.
put him top 10, but to you, he's overrated.
This is insane. You don't understand what we're talking about, Amari. This is how it works.
People
You
think
base
he's
it
one,
off of the
Amari.
public.
He's not even top 5.
Many think he's one. Many.
That is our
Okay.
point, Amari.
Okay,
LeBron.
real quick.
In that sense, he's
LeBron,
overrated.
Harden,
Keep going.
KD,
Kawhi.
KD's injured.
Kawhi.
KD's
Davis.
injured.
Anthony
You can't bring
Davis.
that up. You can't bring that up. KD's injured.
That's-
It's not an excuse. You can't bring that up. You can't bring that up. You can't bring that up.
I don't
Like
know.
you can't. How are you gonna put? Really?
I think you'd fear KD
His
more in
talent,
the
I
fourth
think
quarter coming back.
But I agree with
KD
you,
more
but
in a game in general.
Yeah.
KD's just
that's
better than
argue.
him
That's
at
argue.
everything.
But that's argue. I can argue with that. I can argue that I fear Giannis
KD
Antetokounmpo
took his
more than
team.
KD.
KD took his team when he was very young to the NBA Finals. Giannis still hasn't done it.
Okay, but KD
Still
had
hasn't done
an
it.
exceptional team.
KD had a Harden that came off the bench.
Young
You
Russell
didn't know what he
Westbrook
was
and a
capable of.
young Harden.
And Russell Westbrook, who you replace him with Chris Paul, and look at his team right now. Look at the Thunder and how well they're doing, and then look at the Rockets. I think they might be regressing.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I really
Russell
that's another story. That's another topic we
that
can
list.
talk about.
But I think we're gonna have to wrap it up, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This was another episode of the Core 4 podcast. My final take is I apologize for these three making that statement that Giannis Antetokounmpo is overrated. I'm with you people.
Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this 4th episode of the Core 4 podcast. If you disagree with us, if you agree with us, let us know in the comments. DM us on Instagram. I'm sorry we didn't get to the Q&A, but next episode we'll definitely start off with.
It's coming on Monday.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, very special guest.
Yeah.
You should have kept that as a secret.
Okay. Cut it, Jeff. Cut it then, Jeff. It should be a secret.
Cut it.
No one
Cut
cares.
it. Cut it.
No one
All
cares.
right. I'll just blur it out. I'll put a bleep. Yeah. I'll put a bleep. All right. Thank you for tuning in to episode 4. Have a great day. Tune in for the next episode.